How you doing? Stephen Lee here, System Unfiltered. I am here to introduce my new co-host, Richie Ng. Anyway, Richie, welcome, Richie. Richie, tell me about yourself.
My name is Richie Ng. I just came home not too long ago in March. Just did another bid. Been locked up most of my life, but I don't know. What do you guys want to know?
What were you locked up for?
This time?
Well, how many times were you locked up?
Well, my whole life, I've only been locked up twice my whole life, all right? And
Twice,
it's been like so far apart that you can't even be like, oh, this dude is a career criminal. I'm not.
Okay, so the first time you went in, how many years were you locked up for?
18.
18.
I did 18 years on my first bid, yes.
What was it for?
Manslaughter.
Manslaughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable sharing that story or
Yeah.
not really?
Like, I don't want to open old wounds up for the victim's family and stuff like that, but
Okay.
let's just say that if you want to look it up, you can Google my name and my whole case will come out, But as far as like talking about the specifics about the case, I don't want to get into too many details. Not because I'm worried about getting in trouble.
That's cool.
I already been sentenced. I already did the time.
Right.
I did more than the amount of time.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, I did more than the amount of time that they sentenced me to for that case because I was acting stupid in there. But like, if the victim's family watches it, I don't want them to.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
Pull up old.
All right, so 18 years. Okay, wow. Because I did 18 years as a cop. All right, so you did 18 years in prison. I did 18 years as a cop. So I guess we could offer each other's different point of views for every situation, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, like, I called you up and I was like, you know what, it would be good to bring you onto the show to show some kind of contrast, right? And we go back and forth on things.
Okay.
From two different, sides. So the second time you went in, what was it for? I think I remember it was something protecting your wife, right? Like somebody
She wasn't my
your
wife
or something?
No. Nothing that noble.
Okay.
Me and my ex at that time, she wasn't my ex at that time, but she's my ex now.
Right.
We was leaving a birthday party. I was a little drunk. The person was drunk and altercation happened where, I thought he bumped into her. He thought I bumped into whatever. There's a whole mix up and I ended up punching him in the face and the worst of the worst happened,
Was it one punch?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
But the worst of the worst happened. He fell, he cracked his head open, and he went into a coma. So, feel very bad for the man. I did 5.5 years for that. 5.5 years
wow,
for throwing one punch.
So you went upstate?
Yeah, I went upstate. Maximum security prison. Didn't go to medium, didn't go to a minimum. They just kept me in the max. They sentenced me to 7 years. But I did 5.5.
Wow, okay. Now, when all your time was done upstate, or was it like, some was done in county time, like city time and stuff?
Nah, I was on bail. When I caught this case, they gave me $250,000 bail or $500,000 bail's bond. So, bail's bond, you got to give them 10% at the end. That's $50,000 we're giving this company. So
Right.
I got bailed out, cash bail out, and I was fighting my case for 2 years in the streets. So I was able to bypass a lot of the county time that a lot of people go through. Like on my first bid, I had no bail. My first bid, I had no bail. I was 16 years old on my first case when I caught my first case.
Okay.
So, that's when I did the 18 years.
How old are you now?
How old am I now? I'm old enough.
To show how far apart were the two different sentencing.
Okay. When I first caught my first case, I was 16 years old. I came home when I was 34.
Okay.
The last case I caught I went in when I was 42.
Okay.
I was 42. And I did 5.5 years. So you do the math. I came home 2 days before my birthday, all right? I came home 2 days before my birthday. Jeez.
So all you math experts,
Yeah.
leave in the comment section his age breakdown.
No. No, I'm trying.
It's not a big deal, man.
I know. But when I was younger, and I used to look at dudes that's like 30, I'm like, yo, this dude is fucking old.
Yeah.
Even dudes that was like, because I spent most of my childhood in prison. I didn't have the traditional childhood growing up. I never went to a senior prom, class tryout, and graduate, none of that. So my childhood was a little different.
Well, tell us about your childhood. Like, what was your childhood like?
Well, my childhood, like, I was in prison. They sent me upstate.
Well, your parents. Let's start with your parents. Your parents are here.
Yeah, my parents are here.
Both your mom and your dad.
Yes.
And they both raised you. They were both around when you were little.
Yeah,
or no?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what made you want to run around and hang out and stuff?
And be in a gang.
Yeah, well, that's what we used to call it, right? Hang out, right?
Hang out. You hang out.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I want to sound tough and be like, yo, that's how I always been. I've always been a gangster. I've always been tough. But you know, that's not the truth. Then everybody, you know, nobody's born bad. That's my opinion.
Right.
Nobody's born bad. My parents, when I was growing up, they was working. They had to work because they had to support us. They didn't speak English.
Right.
They worked 12, 13, 14, 16 hours a day was normal.
Both your parents worked?
Both my parents.
Okay.
And they worked 6 days a week minimum. 6 days a week minimum. Sometimes my dad would pick up an extra shift and work 7 days straight for like months on end, just to make sure we had enough, you know. We was immigrants at the time. So I used to look at all the other people that, I don't want to say white people, but like Americans, they got like nice sneakers, nice clothes, they was popular, they was cool. Meanwhile, I got like hand-me-downs from like 6 different generations probably.
Now, are you the only child?
No, I had a little brother.
Okay, so you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because we're first generation, right? Like your first generation, your parents were immigrants.
No, I wasn't born here.
Oh, you weren't born here?
Hell no.
So
I mean, not hell no, but no, I wasn't born here.
Where were you born? In Hong
I was
Kong?
born in Hong Kong.
Okay, so you born in Hong
My
Kong.
swag. Hong Kong swag.
At what age did you come over here?
3.
3, when you're 3, okay. I was born here. I'm first generation here, right?
So you're Chuk Sing?
Huh?
You're
I'm
Chuk
Chuk
Sing?
Sing, yeah.
Yeah.
So my brother, I have an older brother though, so I'm the youngest,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you're the older brother because you have a younger
Yeah.
brother. So now you said you had hand-me-downs even though as the older brother?
Hand-me-downs. Like my mom's friends' kids. Not like hand-me-downs, not like real hand-me-downs from family. I got hand-me-downs
no, because
strangers.
I had hand-me-downs from my brother.
Yeah, that's okay.
like,
That's normal. I had hand-me-down from strangers. Like people I've never even met. Like these clothes, every single clothes had like different type of smell. Like this smelled like Chinese. This smelled like I don't know what. Like all the clothes smelled different. Like it just wasn't normal. It just wasn't normal. It wasn't right for me. So I was envious. I was envious of everybody else, and you know, they was able to.
So then what happened? So what did that lead to?
It led to me wanting more, so I could be like everybody else, and quickest way to do it. My parents wasn't giving me no money. They was struggling themselves. So join the gang. You know you're gonna get money.
Which gang?
The first gang I ever joined, BTK. I was BTK first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So BTK, for those that don't know, is Born to Kill. I believe it was mostly Vietnamese, right? Was it?
Yeah. It was a whole bunch of wild motherfuckers.
Right. So Born to Kill, and then who after that?
Oh. What do you mean who after that? Why I couldn't have been Born to Kill for the whole time?
Because you said you joined a couple gangs.
Yeah. Well, after Born to Kill, you know, I'm Chinese, so you know, no matter what, they speak Vietnamese. I felt uncomfortable. I don't know if they're talking about me, so I left and I joined the Dragons.
Which dragons?
Flying Dragons.
Flying Dragons.
Yeah,
okay.
but not for long either. Not for long either, because you know sometimes you gotta find your place. Like I hear all these stories about, oh yeah, I joined this gang and I stayed with them forever. Blah blah blah. You didn't. How do you know there's not something better? Like so find yourself.
But that's the culture,
and then come home.
right? The mentality of it is people think you join a gang, you're in for life. It's blood in, blood out.
Yeah, no.
So with Chinese gangs back then, it wasn't like that.
Well, they want you to believe it's like that, but
Right.
no. Like.
So they were okay with you leaving and going to another gang?
What do you mean if they was okay with it?
Like.
Of course they're not gonna be okay.
Okay, so
with
the
it.
BTK and FD, did they have beef back then? I don't think so, right?
But every time I left, I bring the beef to them. Like after I left BTK, I bring Dragons to the apartment. Let's run up on these dudes. When I left them, I had the shadows. Yo, let's run up on them. And
What the,
I know. I was a shit stirring. They called me a kausikwan when I was a kid. Like,
what does that mean?
it's like a stick that stirs shit up. I stir the shits. Like, yeah. When the shit hits the fan, I'm the one that threw it up there. Either I threw it up there or I turned the power switch on. It was
Okay, so you the troublemaker. You're a shit stirrer back then.
shit stir, yeah.
Okay, so you went from BTK, Born to Kill, to Flying Dragons, and then I think you just said Ghost Shadows.
Yo, the way you make it sound, yo, I'm like, damn, this
Yeah, you sound
motherfucker
like
is
You sound like a whore, bro.
He sound like a whore. He's a hopper. But let me explain something to you. It's like, the way I think about it is, yo, I joined this group right here. What's the guarantee that we mesh? Like,
Okay, so first of all,
we depend on our lives depend on each other.
Right.
So if back then it's not like now, dudes was getting shot, dudes was dying every other day. So if you have somebody by your side doing shit and you don't have complete faith in them, you putting your life in a stranger's hand. Nah, this is not for me.
No, I understand.
Until I find the group that
I understand. It's just like
Right.
a cop finding his partner.
Yes.
You know, find the right partner. It's the same thing. I understand. But I think what the audience want to know is how long ago was this? Like what timeline?
Oh.
What year?
Damn,
And how
just
long
trying to
were
get
you?
my-
How long were you with them before you found out? Oh, you know what? They're not for me. You know.
Oh, okay. Well, I say with BTK it was probably like 7 months, maybe 6, 7 months. But back then,
Not even a year. Bro.
nah, not even. A year. Well, by a year, 6, 7 months is a long time, especially for a kid. I was like 12 years old when I came out in the streets.
Oh, you were 12.
Yeah.
So what year is that?
What?
I don't know. What year is that? 1980s.
No, late 80s,
Late
late
80s.
80s, late
Damn,
80s,
you were hanging
like
out when you were
borderline
fuck-
90s.
You were hanging out when you were 12.
The first time I got shot, I was 14. So you do the math.
God damn. 14, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, 12 or 13, I was like BTK. Then 13 to like 14, I was no.
Damn,
I didn't. Even,
bro.
I don't think I was an FD the shortest amount of time because they were like real crabby back then. So yeah, I was probably with them for like 3, 4 months, and then I think I called those sex porn hotlines in the apartment. I didn't know that the Dilo was gonna get charged with the bill. He comes back screaming, "Oh, who's calling these sex hotlines?" I'm like 13, 14 years old, like, oh shit, I hope you don't think it's me. But it really is me, but I hope you don't think it's me. But then I know that they talked about it. I knew they figured out it was me because everybody else was having sex. I wasn't having sex yet, so it had to be me. So that's when I left. When I left, I came back, ran through that whole spot. Let's just say that everybody that I didn't like.
Who was your Dilo in BTK and
In BTK, I only recognize one Dilo, and his name is Amigo.
Okay, and then who was your Dilo?
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Okay, so rest in peace. We don't really want to talk about other people in the
Yes.
that we don't have permission to talk
No,
about.
no, no.
So,
the reason the only reason I even said anything Amigo's name is because he died.
Right. No,
Rest in
I'm just saying for the audience wise, we're not gonna go into detail. I'm purposely not asking questions on these people because we don't feel comfortable talking about them without their permission.
I'm not gonna talk about nobody that's not here.
Right.
If that person is present, I'll talk about it. But if he's not, like, I know there's mad rats running around the streets right now. I'm not gonna come on the show and call them a rat. Right. Now, if you come on the show and I ask you, I'm gonna expose you that you're a rat. Just for fun, just for fun. I mean, if you can't get a good laugh out of it, what can you get? I don't get money for exposing you. It's for a good laugh.
Okay. All right. So in FD, are you allowed to say who's your Dilo back then? FD.
So I was there for so short. I don't even remember his name.
Okay. What doesn't even work? Okay. So then that's when you're 12, right? Still.
Like 13.
That was 13.
Yeah,
Okay.
14.
So after that, you went to GS.
Yeah.
So GS, you stood with GS throughout the whole
The longest,
thing?
yeah.
For the longest.
Yeah.
How many years is that, per se?
I don't know, a year maybe? A year and some change, I don't know.
A year and change, that's it?
Bro, I spent my whole life in prison.
Oh, so a year and change, and that's it? And then you went to jail?
Bro, I was on the streets. From 13 to 16. That's 3 years. From 16 to 34, I was in prison. So, that's my whole childhood.
Wow.
That's why I remember my childhood so clearly, because I didn't have too many memories to distort it.
Right.
You know?
It's just it was a quick childhood.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
remember everything about my
So where'd
childhood.
you hang out?
What? Where did I hang out?
Yeah, like how'd you bump into BTK to even join them? Like how?
Well, I used to live in Brooklyn on 8th Avenue.
Oh, you used to live in 8th
Huh?
Ave. Okay.
Ironically, we used to live in Chinatown. But my parents said, you know, this kid, he's going to be bad. I know it. I can look at his face and tell he's going to be bad. Let's move out of Chinatown and move to Brooklyn. We moved to Brooklyn, 8th Avenue. Not a single Chinese family was there when we moved there. We was probably one of the first families that lived on 8th
Yeah, it
Avenue.
was still Spanish back then, right?
Nah, more like Irish and Polish.
Okay, it was
there
still
wasn't
Spanish.
even. I was there when the first Chinese restaurant was ever opened on 8th Avenue, but they decide let's go to 8th Avenue away from other Chinese people. Look, that 8th Avenue turned into like a mini Chinatown, and that's when I met BTK and stuff like that. And then they said, oh, we gotta move out of Brooklyn now. Let's go to Queens. We moved out of Queens, and then the hook was already in. I already experienced the lifestyle.
Wait, so you bumped into BTK in Brooklyn?
I didn't bump into them. I had friends with them.
Yeah, how? Like how did it happen?
One of my best friends,
Uh-huh.
he's still very close to me to this day. I still consider him a best friend. I met a lot of them through him. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, he was a cool ass cat though. Yo.
Okay, so that happened, and then from there you just met other cliques, other gangs, and then you decided, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Switch over to this. Let me try it out.
Yeah.
Switched over, and then you felt comfortable with GS. You ran with GS for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you end up going to jail for manslaughter at 16.
Yes, manslaughter. Yes.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a very small. Like you only had a 4-year childhood, running in the street, not even experience what normal kids experience, but instead you were like forced to like grow up fast, right?
Yeah. Well,
And
forget about normal
run
kid experiences.
gang life.
I've never even had like adult like experiences. You know, like.
Well, because most of your time was in jail.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, fuck.
So when I came home, I didn't know how to. I didn't even know how to use a phone when I came home.
Right, so you know jail better.